who've been to war. So I know what it looks like. I know what they sound like. And I really know what are the young killers in society. In our city here, we have the Dutch Air Mobile Brigade. They're like the parachuters, the paratroops, the SAS. So the kids that get trained in my city end up coming into our hospital in the same city. And believe me, I don't see our man of action in the ranks of any of the young men that I work with and try to help. I really don't. Physically and mentally. If you can't think fast enough to talk that slow, you really shouldn't be in charge of a gun. But to make the claim that you caught Asperger's, the person who said this to was absolutely disgusted because they happen to have a child who has a lot of challenges. And their disgust was more, he didn't even take the time to research. He probably got mixed up between Asperger's and PTSD or something like that. But I can assure you, I know for a fact, he has never worked for the United Nations. I guess he did not fucking figure the coincidence that, hey, as I've shown you guys, and you guys who know me for the length of time, I worked for the United Nations as a kid. When I lived in Israel, I lived on the border with Lebanon, and I did 2 6-month tours and in the buffer zone. And I know there's a difference between a peacekeeper, and his story to us was, and I'll get my wife to tell you this, and my wife would never lie. I don't like lying, and I really try to live a life with no lies in it. But he told us that he had, and this was when I looked at Bonnie like, this is the very first time, man, that we spoke to him ever. He told us that he was a United Nations peacekeeper in Afghanistan. You guys look up when the Swedish UN were a part of it. They were in a park close to where the Dutch kids are. It's called Mazar-i-Sharif. He didn't know that. We asked him, he then told us that he asked his commanding officer, wait for it, for a transfer into a combat battalion because he wanted to see action. He then told us that he had been transferred into a combat battalion. We logically then, because of his obvious speech impediment and slowness, asked him with empathy and sympathy, did you suffer a cerebral injury? I mean, did you get a piece of shrapnel to the head, or did you get, did you suffer a severe, with respect, because I mean, Bonnie's worked with handicapped children all her life. So it doesn't take very much for Bonnie to see certain red flags. For me, listen, my Irish commanding officer, if I had asked him for a transfer, there was no Irish fighting in Israel at the time. Not officially, there wasn't. B, my commanding officer would have laughed at me. That's not the way the army works, man. You can't just say, hey, boss, I want to become a killer and get into a killer squad. Just transfer me tomorrow, will you? It doesn't work that way. So I knew that was absolutely very, very illogical and irregular. There was like red flags going off everywhere. Bonnie then asked him, had he suffered a cerebral injury? That was the same day where Paulie and Father Judgment can tell you, he then explained to us, I am a god, actually. You all should be worshipping me. That's actually what he said. That was the winner of the longest awkward silence of the fucking century award, man. I mean, Paulie, Father Judgment, you're a god and we should be worshipping you? He now denies he said that. He now says, I was just talking about vonhelton. But I wonder if he'll deny admitting to being openly bisexual, as he did to Crystal Titty, because no one who had any respect for the Mormon church would ever call themselves a Mormon and then admit openly to being bisexual. Don't infer that I'm saying there's something wrong with bisexuality here. No. But a Mormon would never call himself a Mormon and then say, I'm actually a bisexual. I've only been on about an hour, actually, Trevor, but it says here we started 2 hours ago, but I've only been on about that. But it doesn't work that way, mate. Button is back with us. Same joint button. So A, you don't get transferred. So B, listen, we have a database in my work, and I can see who's worked for NATO. I can see who's a patient in my work who qualifies for veterans benefits. who has worked in NATO. Listen, the Dutch kids, all our kids go to Uruzgan. Most people have never heard of Uruzgan. Well, it's not so far away from Sweden. As far as I know, Sweden wasn't in Afghanistan. They stopped about 5-6 years ago, which means he was a special killer when he was 15 or so. But that's roughly around the same time when he became a Mormon. He said 5 years ago. So he met 2 Mormons in a train, and now he's a Mormon. But he made the mistake to say a baptized Mormon. And believe me, you do not smoke, you do not drink anything but water or fruit juice or herbal tea. Mormons don't even drink coffee or tea. So they would never drink cola because there's caffeine in cola. Mormons would never smoke and call themselves a Mormon. Mormons certainly would never admit to being openly bisexual, like our man of Actually did to Crystal Titty. But he probably forgot he made that bit up too. Hey, who knows? I don't give a fuck if he's bisexual or not. But listen, you ain't a Mormon, and you're not a baptized Mormon when you... I mean, that's stuff they would actually excommunicate you for. So it's not going to be hard to look up, where his local Mormon church is. And I sincerely doubt that he's a baptized Mormon because you would never say that if you smoke and drink openly and cursed, used foul language. And certainly your day consisted of nothing but lies, lies, and more lies. Well, the only Gentile that I remember was called an angel, and the Bible Piper was, you should know this better than me, was when the judges looked upon his face, they said he had a face of an angel. Who was that, Piper? You're the man of religion in here. Oh, simply and purely for one thing, coattail attention, Doc Piper. Exactly what he's doing now with that other woman. Coattailing attention. That guy will do anything for attention. And that's pretty sad. Just be yourself, man. He comes out with these cliches like he invented them on the spot. Oh my God, man. But anyone who says age is just a number, jail is just a cell, creeps me the fuck out, personally. Creeps the fuck out of me. Why would age and a jail, what's related to age and jail? I mean, do you go to jail in Sweden for, seducing 88-year-old grannies or something? I don't know, but there's only one thing I know you go to jail for that has something to do with age. Just saying. Just saying. Age is just a number. Jail is just a cell, actually. Seriously. So you should stop making up lies about people like me who just call them out as bullshit. And if you say something in public, like you did about being engaged, then it's not private anymore, man. I mean, that's fuck. I mean, are you really that moronically retarded? I know you think that you can catch Asperger's, but I mean, you know what? That really chaps my ass, man, because unfortunately I have PTSD and I really would prefer not to. And the only reason I got it was, as most people get it, due to severe fucking trauma and seeing shit that you shouldn't have seen as a child. And when I think someone's trying to fucking coattail and then gets his Asperger's and his PTSD mixed up and says, oh, cut this workers' disease killing the Taliban. Actually. Just another something that I think we should remember. Trevor, a very important part, not to forget, mate. Mormons do not enlist in the army. Actually. So if he was 16 when he became a Mormon, then he was a Mormon who actually went to war, which they probably would excommunicate him also for. So I don't think that adds up. Mormons are like Jehovah's Witnesses. They do not go to war. Actually. Unless it's the Mormon army. That's one of the reasons why Joseph Smith ended up in Carthage prison in October, because of the Mormon militia he had. He had a militia of 6,000 men that actually was starting to make the president of the United States very, very fucking nervous. And that's what happened actually with the Dunlop party when they murdered all those people in the Mountain Meadow massacre. They actually had a huge militia heading towards... Joseph Smith at that point had actually started printing his own money, which he then went to Canada and spent. And people's fucking, Mormon gold standard value bonds were worth shite. absolute shite. He printed one, but what really irritated Washington with Joseph Smith was got his hands on the printing press. And as you know, my very first degree, printing has a lot of power to it. And being in the power of a printing press in certain times can be a very, very dangerous thing. Look at poor Quasimodo and what happened to him in Notre Dame. But anyway, he had printed, what was it called? A Nauvoo Expositor, if my rapidly decaying memory serves me right, was the name of the one copy of Joseph Smith's Mormon newspaper, the Nauvoo Expositor, I believe. Yeah. And anyway, they ended up, Joseph Smith was married to 32 women. So this is where Irvine gets it from, Eugene gets it from. He was actually married to, they think, roughly around, he used to send men on missions, and as soon as they left, he would take their wives and get into secret marriages, because just like his follower fucking, what do you call that other guy, Warren Jeffs, same shit, man. Just different time, same religion, different time. But Mormons don't go to war, so I would wonder how our man of Ectula can explain how a baptized Mormon would ever take weapons up. Just does not equate. It's another lie. Well, who does thunk it? There is a splurt. Welcome, Splurticus. Salutations. Yep, the judge is going to be welcoming Irvine into the court in T-minus 52 minutes, folks. What the day we have been waiting for, the day of liberation and retribution is nigh. Oh yes, the reckoning will be coming. I mean, here guys, I will be so happy if I can say, hashtag liberated Jerry, man. You know, seriously, man, that will be amazing. Once again, far be it for me to applaud anyone's children being taken, man. But getting your kids back 6 times is something really fucking tragic in itself. But losing them 7 times is even better, because those kids, what I've been told, and the person who every once in a while hits me up with some stuff knows what they're talking about. And what I've been told, I was told last week before we went to Denmark, we were told the kids were absolutely amazing. They were thriving, and you know, those kids want to forget where they came from as soon as possible, man. They got the roughest fucking deal in life ever dealt up to them by just being born to that man. You know, do you think it's going to be easy in their life, you know, realizing later on in life, my father was called James Paul or my father called himself James Paul vonhelton. I think that's fucking going to be something going around on with a t-shirt? Methinks not. To lose them 7 times, Splurticus. That's what's... Yeah. Recent communications between Vaughn and his muse. He's got himself a 22-something-year-old on his arm. And unfortunately, he doesn't have a audio file or a few pics of her, because we guys are visual guys, that he could actually show the judge and lie to him about maybe even possibly her coming to stay. So he did have a woman in the house. So what has he written here? Technically, nothing they're doing is legal. If the founding fathers were still here, they'd be hung for treason. Founders were very clear that the government should never be able to strip people of their rights. And as for housing, guess what? I just got my place professionally cleaned. I had to, since that was the issue for the court. I had to. So you can crash here if you want. And they are right in the fact, the first time I've ever heard him speaking with some empathy as a parent, it's the first time, where he says here, the fact my kids need a female around, my girls do especially. Boy, oh boy, what a time to figure it. Hey, penny strapped. Bit fucking late though. The court is going to want some kind of proof. I can't just go in there and say, have you someone? They're going to want to pick on an audio file or something tangible. As if an audio file at this stage of the day of some... I mean, Vaughn, you told us like 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, you had 5 suitable replacements waiting in the aisles. Some of them were superior quality. And I quote unquote, some of them were of even superior quality to Mouse. 5 suitable replacements. Couldn't you think of getting 1 or 2 of them there to, show the judge how you roll? What else did he write? What else did he write to this young, hot, petite 22-year-old something hottie? Let's see, what else did he write here? Yes, I've had several women tell me that I've treated them way too good. It's confused the hell out of me. Men are visual creatures. We have to see it and touch it. And the unfamous line, show me your tits. This is Bond's seduction skills going on here. This is him seducing a hot 22-year-old. I mean, listen to this. Show me your tits is total proof of that philosophy. I know it sounds totally unfair, but that's what guys do. They go by looks, and they are hardwired that way. For those of us that do like intelligence, it still takes a backseat, of course, to looks. And it's like when a peacock spreads its wings and its tail to get a mate. The mate is drawn to the colours and the tail and how it's shaped and whatnot. And your beautiful, manly, macho testosterone, and I'm sure pheromones oozing out of every pore of that huge, proboscis monkey-like nose. Anyway, as for dropping rose petals, can you drop them by Wednesday? My chances of getting the kids back Thursday will go up 300%, honey, if you're on my arm. No pressure, eh? Of course, I know that can't happen that fast, but I'm just pointing out my situation. I'm wondering what the gods have in mind. This was written a mere 2 days ago to his latest muse / suitable replacement of probably superior quality. That's what I was saying. Let's have another little delve into his Bit de l'amour, his pen of romance. Confused about treating women too well. Must be very confusing. Let's have another little delve into this. She says to him, yes, I'm 22, and I'd appreciate it if you'd be a bit more civil with your language. So now, tell me a bit about yourself. I know you build computers, and as a hobby, you were in the army, and singing is another one of your hobbies, and that you used to do UFO and paranormal stuff, but I don't know anything else really about you. Well, here we go, folks. Oh, now, tighten your seatbelts. Old James Paul comes straight back within a mere, let's see, is the time here? Fortunately, the original message time is not there. It says, yep, answering back, working on becoming the most powerful sorcerer on the planet, henceforth known as Sorcerer Supreme. Sounds like a sort of tikka salad dish. Sorcerer Supreme. Just add water. Evil must be punished, and the best way is on their own turf. You appear out of the blue, but how do I know you're legit and not just another troll and try and accuse me of something? Can you send me some naked pics, baby? So, there you go. That's what he's up to, folks. Another hot 22-year-old on the horizon, by the looks of it. Gee, I wonder where those other 5 suitable replacements went, especially the ones of superior quality. Let's have another look at, and there's my honey bunny back in the mix. Let me go and help my wife with her bags, guys. I shall be right back, okay? En un momento, por favor. If we get enough people in the house, I've still got my 20-page or my 20-question quiz of vonhelton. Get enough people in here, we might do it today. Hang on a minute. 31. I think that's 500. Oh, I suppose it is. Fresh croissants. Oh boy. Oh boy. Feel like Chris Wilde? Feel like Chris Wilde, guys? That cost me $139. Yep. $139. Chris Wilde. Sure, the shopping show. Oh, I'm not going to fit that. Where will that fit in my fridge? Absolutely charcoal fridge. More Dutch custard and fruit juice. Nice one. Hej Annie. Det blir en skärm. Oh, Chucky Bicky. Chucky Bicky. Oh, nice one. Looks good.
Yes.
Oh, mini bounties. Oh, who wants a mini bounty? Will you mount me for a bounty?
Will you risk it for it?
Yes. Will you take out your necks for a Twix? Eh? Will you do it for a chew it? More empty bars. Give me two. For empty bars. Hey, Boogie. Put them in bars. Oh, you'll be funny. That's right.
Like a tea and a croissant.
Oh, nice one. A cup of tea and shall we go for a cup of tea and a croissant, chaps? Yes, let's have a afternoon cup of tea and a croissant. Sounds like an excellent plan. Mick's in the house. Mickey's in the house. How you doing, Mick, my mate? Mick, I'll get an extra bounty out for you too. It's a beautiful day outside, but it's still fresh. Bonnie woke up this morning extremely disappointed, guys. Her tulips were all wilted. They were very flaccid. Bonnie doesn't like flaccid stuff. It almost froze here last night, eh? Seriously? Oh, Bonnie will be on his way, man. Can you imagine the fucking atmosphere in the car? With Ma, Helton and Vaughn being in the same car? This is the day.
For Omar.
This is the day we waited for so long, man. One good side of it is, Bonnie, see, now you can get rid of him quicker because he's got the kids gone. I bet you if she's seen that he was offering free bread and board on her compound, she would not be a happy chappy. I don't think Matt Helton's waiting on any other surprise love affairs showing up now in her place. I don't think so either. I really don't. You know, she found out about Mousy after Mousy was about 7 months pregnant, man. He had her in the trailer like 7 months and hadn't told the man. Sneaky bastard. Hey? Who does shit like that?
Sure,
Who does shit like that, man?
yeah, I think we didn't put
No, he's definitely not.
right in the head.
The cake's all mine, the cake's all mine. Yeah. Good to see us, guys. Good to see us all. Rexy 500's got his summer hairstyle. I'm not sure if you can see it down there. No, you can't. He's got a summer haircut. Bonnie gave him a short back and sides this afternoon. And then he went outside, dug a hole after she had him in the shower, dug a hole and rolled around in it. Like you do, straight after you've had a beautiful shower. So Mommy took him back and gave him shower number 2, didn't you? Yeah, you're not looking too chuffed. Oh, he's giving me the Glen eye. Oh, there he is. Here's a minute. Oh, go on, start swimming. Swim. There's in his little Rexy 500 summer streamlined sports coupe. There you go, there you go. His little sports coupe.
Alexi?
Hello, there's Mr. FJ in the house. Hey, Charlie, how you doing, man? Charlie, age is just a number, and jail is just a cell. Whatever the fuck that meant to me. Today's the big day, Charlie, man. This is the day. This is a day that no one has waited for, but that has come, and it has come only and purely by one man's actions, mate. You know it. It's T minus 38 minutes, guys. Trevor's going to be able to keep us up to date. Trevor's he's got a live connection with Mousy at the moment. Yep, Trevor's been talking to Mouse for months. I mean, fair play to him, man. Bonnie says, yeah, I think Andrea's going to court. Yeah, Trevor's saying that she's going to court. Yep. Good. She actually, Trevor, didn't she get a visit this week or something along those lines, I believe, which was brilliant. I mean, he could tell us that he went to that institution just before Mousy got admitted to it. It was good enough to tell us that. But he would never take his kids down there for a weekend to see the man. Oh, no, fucking no. That's too much like being a husband. That would require effort and getting away from his computer games. Yeah, that's being a father and being decent. Yeah, that's fucking not in him. Period. Simply not in the bastard. Excuse my French. But this is all, listen, this is proof of how many, for how long and how many times the court system will always pick the biological parents. And when you lose your kid 6 times, you're a fucking serial abuser, man. That's just my take on it. He's a serial abuser. Seriously, his translation, a mentally ill man's translation of being a serial abuser is the Guinness Book of Records needs to, add me as being, the greatest CPF. No, the shame of having your kids took off you 5-6 times, and every single time, mark my words for the newbies in here, every single time the CPS or the Child Welfare Infant Care or whatever institution went to give his children treatment or to visit those children, every single time they were encountered and covered in their own filth. Period. That's not a lie. I'm not making that shit up. Every single time, man. So, hey, let's play this one for old Stinky Shorts today. Tunes coming at you. 20th. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, Rexy fighting again. Yes. Hey, how about Mousy? Guys, any suggestions to what Mousy's going to be singing on American Idol, guys? Any suggestions?
Stand by on that.
Stand by for Tammy Wynette? Oh boy. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, Bonnie. If Vaughn goes down, it should get the number until it's just the telephone. Let's see what they say. Yeah, what would Andrea be singing? Seriously, Andrea actually sent a tweet to America Idol saying, sorry I missed y'all. Yeah, I hit the road, Jack. Seriously, Andrea tweeted to, if I'd have known y'all were in Louisville, I'd have tried and possibly have made it. I'll try next season. I'll even go to a recording studio. I can sing very well. No joke. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, man. She's still a child. I'm dreaming. But Charlie, listen, man. It's this fucking simple. If she's been listening to that man and his crooning skills for the last 4 years, and that she might be, led to believe even, oh my God, look at that delicious, look guys, just living with Bonham, check it out. Croissants, Charlie's just in time for your European breakfast and afternoon brunch. Oh boy. Fresh croissants straight out of the bakery, man. Bonito. Oh, there's Rexy 500. Hang on, let's see. Rexy in the summer. Oh, Streamline 500. Oh, no, you're not getting me. You're not getting me today again. Rexy says, nope, I'm not letting myself be captured by you today again. No way, mommy. It's not happening. Anyway, I'm sure fucking Stinky's not on the croissants anyway, that's for sure. No, but seriously, guys, Charlie's the same, man.
Microwave.
Yeah, microwavable croissants. Yeah, there I am. Maybe this is a song Mousy would sing. I'm still in love with you, baby. Darling, since the end, I'm still in love with you. She probably would go back to him, you know, man. If it meant getting her kids back, I swear, he probably could tuck her around and fine. If only they didn't have those DVOs and shit hanging above their head. I bet you he regrets the day he took that out. I bet. As far as saying, hey, you giving them my Schwarzwälder schinken? Oh, man, you know all that is, that's Bill. Hey, he's already had 2 slices. Thank you very much. That's nice. My expensive Schwarzwälder schinken. I'm excited about that. Thank you very much. Hello. Oh yes, you have to lose weight. Yeah. Thank you for the comment, Trevor, man. That's cool. Trevor, if you sub to me, Trevor, you can get a head up on the email every time we go live. That's right. I mean, that's the joke of it again. This shows you how fucking blinkered this man is, man. She had to lose weight. And you know what the crazy bit about it is? If you'd have seen her like 3 years ago, she looked like, I'm serious, man, straight out of The Walking Dead. Straight off it, man. Walking around mumbling to herself about Jesus and bumping up against the walls, man. And what does fucking old Dr. Eugene do? Take her medicine off her? I swear, she was even afraid to fall asleep, man. She was afraid to fall asleep that she wouldn't ever waking up again, she said. Guys, you don't want to see me eating, and I don't want to show myself eating, so I'm just going to show you the window, and as soon as I get this in me, I'll get the camera back on. But I swear, man, this day has taken a long time coming. A long time. And he has singularly, solely, and uniquely himself to blame, guys. No one else. It's nothing to do. If the trolls did anything, they helped do nothing else but try and save those kids, guys. And if he hadn't lost his kids 6 times, and now he's trying to sneakily get a woman on us. Did you see that shit, Charlie? Where he's talking to this Kelly point 13. But he literally fallen for that shit again. Okay, alright. Yeah. Well, Trevor, as far as I know, he said screw that from the get-go with the parenting classes. Let me just open the chat here. If the idiot who thinks that he's constantly doxing my address in here, you're just making a nuisance of yourself. I'm glad to see that you're not phoning me anymore. If you're phoning my old number, you're phoning someone you probably wouldn't want to be. But and like I say, I don't let anyone get doxed in here. And certainly not my dox either. So open the guest chat. And if you want to start your fucking tore up start shit, fine and dandy, but you just get booted. And if it continues, we shall shut the chat down. There we go. Andy Collins. Welcome, Andy. Wake and bake, buddy. Yes, indeedy. Have a croissant, my friend. Have a nice croissant there and a nice cup of tea. Num nums. Now, he's lost his children like 5-6 times, M11. It's not the first time, man. And you know what it is? Every hoop they give him to jump through, mate, he just falls back. He lets the house get clean. His mom will pay for the house to be cleaned or shit like that. And it just falls back in time, just the dirt. But this time it was literally squalor, man. It was dangerous. His house had become a biohazard. He had swarms of flies in December, man, because there was so much shite. Covered up his walls and stuff, man. It was that bad. The kids were left covered in their fucking excrement like that were from the very get-go. Do you look at all those old videos that Nats has of him reading out his charge sheets and stuff? Every time the nurse came, every time they busted him, his kids were covered in shite, guys. For the Alric. Okay, my dad. How you got Martha? Yeah, like a dinka. Every single time, man, they busted him. His kids were covered in shite. And his excuse was, as always, I was just about to change them. What did he say? One time he called it flooded. The nurse said every time she went there to help them, all she had to do was clean up the house and clean the kids. First thing, she had to clean the kids. He does not bring his children to his mum's in the morning to get big for nothing, guys. They were covered in their own crap every single time. And he was stupid enough to read out the court findings and the statements that the nurses and the welfare infant care had made. Every single time they went to his house, his children were covered in their own shite. They were either locked into their high chairs or locked into their rooms. So this is a day of hashtag liberation for Jerry Day. Fucking hell, it's been a long time coming, man. Locking his child up for a month's time into a bed, covered in his own shit and piss. He lied about that, Trevor, mate. He lied about that, believe me, buddy. That Dr. Delmundo was one of the top pediatricians in that area. I mean, he started up, you know what it was in the beginning, Trevor? He said it was the CPS, the nurses, and the doctor was a conspiracy after his children. The trolls came in later, but that was the first. Listen, man, he was already being talked as neglecting his children when they were less than a week old, Trevor. Nats has videos of him complaining about the nurses, about falling out with the nurses because he refused to clean his own children in the hospital. The nurses already found that he was neglecting them when they were just born, they were premature. What did they do? They fell out with the nursing staff. What did they do, man? They went home and did not visit their own children for 6 weeks long. For 6 weeks long, they did not visit their own children in the hospital. And there was already talk of neglect, and his children weren't even a month old. Thank you, 018. What a special day. I have more content than you forgot. It is so screwed up. And they lost weight, indeed, Bonnie, yeah. All right, thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. Every single time they went back home, they lost weight. You know what the amount was? His children gained an ounce every day in hospital. And when they went back to him, they gained an ounce a month. That was 1/30 of what they should have gained. So in other words, and then what did he say? They were overfeeding his children. His malnourished, premature children were being overfed, man. Hey, 58, how you doing, man? Welcome, Andy. Nice to have you, I hope. Let me send you a friend request. And don't forget to hit the like button, guys, down there somewhere where the yellow or the green, hit the like button. But seriously, it's a big day. It's taken a long time coming, and it's all singularly and solely the fault. If it's a fault, I don't see it as being a fault. Listen, Jerry being diagnosed recently, that's the first silver lining this cloud has had. I seen one of the votes last night on Google Plus. I think it was almost 98% of everyone who voted said that he wouldn't be getting his kids back. 98%. Sub is here, Trevor. There. Subscribe. So He's on his way there now. He's getting called at 9 o'clock, guys. And we have a in the house, on the spot, real-time contact in the house. So I know he's not going to get us because he's refused to take parenting classes from the get-go anyway. Did you see his... Did anyone notice the subliminal imaging going on in his I Really Have a Job show, where he sat there and showed us his extremely bad posture, his 5'1" obesity, all 5'1" of them? Did you happen to notice the sparkling, shiny, beautiful, long corridor to two little baby bunk beds that, according to him, could never exist, and if they even existed, would never fit into his single wide anyway. But they just happened to be immaculately, it was like the immaculate fucking, single wide. And that was just pure quinky dinky, yeah, of course. It had nothing to do with mum paying professional. That means his cousins and the other people whose mum used to pay to clean his shite up have now refused, and they said no. So she actually had to get professionals in with hazmat suits. But don't worry, never fear. His children were never in danger. They were never in danger. Not a single moment of danger, Bonnie. Not a moment. So imagine how dangerous could his fucking dirty house have been, guys. Was it like it was rat infested, the garbage bags were jumping at the kiddies' ankles and stuff? Was it like that bad? Or could it have just been like it was the last time when it was dangerous, when the house was completely infested with vermin, lice, bugs, and other, vampire fucking buggy little insects? But, the good thing about it was Vaughn was a one-man insecticide machine, because if any bed bug or any lice or anything like that, bit him, because of his vampire metabolism, they died immediately. Hang on, let me just start scratching here, and then I'll scratch all the way back there, and halfway through I'll just have we look to see any meat in under my nails there. No, nice clean, no meaty, and no need to look at you. Anyway, let's keep scrapping. My kids don't have lice. How dare you? My kids don't have lice. No, my kids are now. No, we look. And then after he scratches himself, he always does this. He always does. I think he subliminally thinks he's sort of wiping away the little lice carcasses. And he got on camera. He said, my kids don't have lice. The doctor took him to the doctor. The doctor says no lice. Nope. Family looked at them. No lice. Nope. And 2 days later, he gets on camera and him and his fucking kiddies are bald. But hey, he's got his kiddies back, Bonnie. At least when his little girls go to school with their little bald heads. After he took them out of school for another week, because he was huffing that the school refused to take his kids because they were just reinfesting the rest of the school. What was Vaughn's take on it? No, his kids were infested because he wasn't a Southern Baptist. Yep. All the joys of being a Southern Baptist. Oh yeah. But they lied to him in the school. It was the wrong colour of bugs. I'm completely right. Charlie, I'm not sure if I ever told you the story. My dad used to give, like mums with 6, 7 kids, single parents. My dad used to do Wednesday nights. He would cut all the whole family's hair for like a $5. But he also used Wednesday evening, and my dad would debug the kids, man, for free. And he did that. He shaved dead people, he shaved dying people, Bonnie, all his life, eh? And he did that. He was so cool regarding that. My dad always said, Steve, lice, it's a sign of a good, healthy scalp. Keeping lice is fucking dirty. And that wasn't, of course, his language, his verbiage, but...
Kijk nou, iemand die gewoon heeft zichzelf opgeblazen.
Zag het?
39 jaar, 37.
Dood?
Verwaaid, ja.
But then, of course, it wasn't his fault. But listen, it wasn't even just his heads, Charlie. You know what it was? The beds and everything were infested. Everything. The whole house was infested, man. It was a tin box full of bugs. Everything. Yep. The mom had to pay for the exterminators. I think she paid something like $18. You're going to find out yourself, man. That sort of work for 3 guys in a hazmat suit just before they even take off is, kicks in about $1,000. Just for the call out, the hazmat suits, before they even open anything, before they even start cleaning up, you're talking $1,000, man. But hey, that's how many times we seen Ma clean the place. The first time they took him, We've seen Ma paying to clean the place after the Christmas affair. We've seen Ma paying to clean the place after the toilet block red paint in the bathroom incident. Man, don't get me started. He got himself here all by his own. And like I said, you don't lose your kids 5 times, man. I mean, the court is to be applauded that they give him that many chances. All you can do, Charlie, is take everything out, man, and just take even all the furnishing, all the material out and just sterilize it, man. Everything. Carpet, everything. And you know what I was told? The only reason he's not in jail now is because that week that Mum had taken a break, he had actually been locking his kids up in Mum's empty trailer because his own was so, I mean, it was literally that bad. That's what he means when he says they weren't in any danger. They were locked up in Mum's, and he would go over there every 6 hours and maybe throw them a bowl of ramen noodles or something like that. I mean, have you ever heard a father complain about his children being jealous of his food? Never in my life, man. Never. Even the brand new, yeah. Oh, is that bad? My God. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how bad it was, man? Now you know why we've seen that man scratching for 5 years. I mean, he's been scratching that bad for 5 years, man. I know 328. It's deplorable. But today is the day he loses them. I'm going for part 2 in a minute, but Mac Patrick's on, okay?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Today is the day he loses his kids. He already knows he's lost them by default. I mean, he knows that today. He's refused to, comply with any of the regulations the court's placed upon him. So he knows from the get-go, by default, he'll be deprived of his children today. They were still in the house, Charlie. That bad, man. That bad. Oh, I remember once in Israel coming back from vacation, man, and I had the person that looked after my house had been looking after my cats, and he had locked the cat up for like maybe 3 weeks in Israel in the house. He had fed them and stuff. And when I walked into my house, man, I'd got white Bedouin trousers on, and they started to turn grey, black from the ankles up, man. So bad, Bonnie. That bad. You could literally see them coming at me, man. So my trousers had turned grey. I just walked outside and took my trousers off. Unbelievable, man. Especially with heat. I remember reading about a call out about 2 cops last year who went to this old lady's house with like 27 cats. They came back to the police station, put their clothes in the locker for the weekend, and came back on Monday, and the whole fucking police station was completely... That's how fast it can go. That's how fast. Jarvis back. Bookie! Got some screaming pussy in here. Yeah. Okay, guys, let me take a toilet break, and I'm going to take a couple of Skype calls. We might see if we can get Trevor on Skype. 15 minutes and counting, guys.